Hi everyone, and welcome to the Judy and Larry Garatoni Building Better Men Chapter Endowment Fund Program Training. We wanted to create this training for all of you to assist you as you go to apply for this program, which could help you potentially win $100,000. So we are going to go through this as if I were applying to help you navigate the website. So first you're going to want to go to Triangle's website. And then click on Actives. And if you scroll down a little bit, you're going to see on the left-hand side, Building Better Men Endowment Program. And then you're going to click on Login and Register. This will take you to the actual website where you are going to submit your application. So if you have already created a profile, your information should be on the left-hand side and you can just click Login. But to help you all, I'm going to start a whole new application with a new account. So this first page is just the general overview of the program. It goes through the application and evaluation process, the mission of the program, terms and conditions, which is going to be on another page coming up, which we are going to cover in a second. So you're going to click here to enter your submission. And then it will bring you to creating your account. So again, if you already have an account, it will show up here and you can just hit login. But if you need to create a new account, you'll need to fill out this information here. So as I'm filling this out, just a couple tips. So you're only going to want to create one account per chapter or colony, because as we see the submissions come in, we want to just be able to identify it by your chapter or colony name. So I would recommend the person that sets this account up is either the person that's going to completely oversee the Better Man program, or if you have a general blanket Toledo triangle.org or gmail.com, whatever it may be, if you just have a blanket email address, then you could use that as well. Just fill out all of our information. And then hit register. So as you're going through this website, you will know that you've completed everything properly if you have the little icon on the right corner of it says success. Okay, so now this is going to bring us to the main registration page. So most of this information is going to populate from the account that you just created. But here you're going to want to type in your chapter. So rather than putting in TOL, if you could type in the full name of your chapter, so Toledo, that would be great. So I'm just going to make up Clarion because that's where I went. And then here is going to highlight the terms and conditions. You can read through all this, but I am going to cover a couple of the important pieces, specifically in the application and the eligibility. So chapters and colonies that meet the initial eligibility criteria, which you can see below, will be asked to complete all 5 standards. There are not many times we're asking you to submit documentation. It's all on this concept of truth, which obviously is very important to Triangle members. So we are just going to expect that all information is self-supplied on the honor system. Should we find out that information is not honest and forthright, then all funds that could potentially be received would be forfeited. So if you are getting ready to commit to this program, you need to know that you're taking this on for a 3-year commitment. So you would be submitting your application this year, you would submit another one next year, and then you would submit one for the following year. And the reason that we do this is because when we thought of this program, the whole point was to see a cultural change within our chapters and colonies. And in order for that to happen, it takes 3 to 4 years. So if you want to win $125,000, then you need to commit to supply misinformation 3 years in a row. The application deadline for this year is June 1st, so we want to make sure that all of your information is submitted. This has been open since July 1st. This is a clear and hard deadline. We will not take any late submissions after June 1st. If you agree to all this information, you're going to select the I agree to terms and conditions and then hit save and next. All right, so now you are on the first standard where you're going to actually start submitting your materials. You will see at the top right here that all 5 standards are listed so that you can click on the links and just review them before you get started. So standard 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you can go through it all. So let's start at standard 1, scholarship. Each standard is going to have an overview at the very top. This overview is going to quickly highlight what this standard is going to be looking for and what we want to achieve. So now we're going to get into this information here. Anything that has a red asterisk you need to fill out. It's required for you to move on. So scholarship chair name, and I'm just going to use my name for everything so that we can get through this. Email. I started, let's say there. And if they are still in this position, just select the current date. So as you'll see, number 2, there is no asterisk. And so that means that we know that not all of our chapters and colonies may not have attended this program. If you didn't attend it, you just leave it blank and you may just miss 1 or 2 points. That's fine. You need to understand that as you're going through this, the criteria and the questions that we're asking are not a requirement. We're not saying that this is what you have to do. We're saying that this is something that you should strive to achieve. This is awarding you $100,000. So we would expect that the person that's winning that is doing everything that they can to reach these goals and objectives. So let's say that you did go to Academic U, the name of attendee, and it could be a couple of people. So we'll say we went to Illinois, and that was on October 3rd. Okay, so here's an instance where you would need to upload something. So active organizations will have a scholarship plan in place for all active and new members that promotes academic success within 1 semester. A copy of the scholarship plan should be included below. So we would go to choose file. And I'm just going to put the first document I see so that we can move along. And then it will link here, and say that you accidentally put the wrong one, then you would just hit this little trash can and start over again. So now when there's an option for you to upload something, what this is going to look like is the judge is first going to see, did the chapter or colony submit a document, because that will get you credit, and then what is the quality of the program that they submitted. So say your scholarship plan just says require members below a 2.8 to do study hours, and that's it. You probably won't get as many points as the chapter that is talking about how you use it in recruitment, how you use academics in new member education, what are the member development programs that you're offering. So again, there are going to be points that are awarded based on the quality of the program. So some more uploading documents. Active organizations' average GPA will have increased after attending Academic U. So obviously, if you didn't go to Academic U, you just leave it blank. If you did, then when did you go to Academic U? What was your chapter's GPA beforehand? What was it after? So clearly, this is some information that you may need to research and look up. And that's why I say that chapter should not wait until the last minute to complete this. You want to be aware of all the questions that it's asking so that not only can you look up this information well in advance, but you can prepare yourself and store stuff as you're going throughout the year so that when it's time to submit, you already have it and you don't even need to backtrack. So as I scroll down, here's another option for what types of questions you're going to see throughout this program. So number 11, active organizations will host at least 2 programs during the academic year that focuses on academic achievement. 85% of the chapter must be in attendance. If you see italics, that is going to be additional instructions for how we want you to submit this information. So please include information about the program below and be sure to attach copies of the program, PowerPoints, agendas, notes, handouts. So questions like number 11 are going to be an opportunity for you to get various points in a number of different ways. First, you just want to complete the information that's here. That will get you points. Second, you would get another point if you did indeed have 85% of your members in attendance. Satisfaction with the program, so it's always going to be ranked 1 out of 5, 5 being the highest. And this is just a self-satisfaction. We are not going to take any points off if you say a 2. This is just for you so that you can see how the program went. So we'll give ourselves a 5. Title of the program, Best Studying Habits. And we did this program right before finals to help everybody out. We'll say we did it on November 11th. Dr. George. And now this description of the program, you want to be as detailed as possible about the program. So don't just say that talked about not staying up all night. It was cool. You want to actually provide as much detail on the program as possible because the judges weren't there. So if you really want to be the person that gets $100,000, then you need to paint a picture for the judge. So I would suggest maybe doing a bulleted list of items, maybe if you had learning outcomes, what was discussed, an agenda, anything you can to provide us with as much information as possible. This program, this Better Man program, is not intended for it to be a walk through the park and easy. $100,000 should require a lot of effort. So you put your description there, percentage of members in attendance. We did get the 85. And then program attachment. So say you have a PowerPoint that you could put here. You have an agenda, minutes, notes, whatever it may be, you want to upload it here. And so again, this is where planning ahead and not waiting until the last minute is really going to help you in your scores. Again, these are not required, so if you didn't do academic programs, you obviously wouldn't receive the points, but this is a way for you to know as a chapter, like, wow, we didn't have any programs on academics this past year. That's something we really need to focus on. So this should not only serve as a method for you to create or enhance your chapter endowment fund, but this should serve as a roadmap for chapter leadership of what are the things that you need to work on, what are the things that you're doing well, and this is how to go about doing that. So save and next. Information saved. So it's going to take us straight on to standard 2, which is leadership. And so some of the things that this one's talking about is involvement in leadership on campus and in a national fraternity. So are you coming to our events? So that's what some of these are. I don't think that there's anything that's required here. But here's some things, again, to just be aware of. So every active organization member will be involved in at least one other student organization. And then here in the italics, it says exactly how we want you to submit it. So in an Excel document with the following columns. I would hate to see groups get a point taken off because they missed these simple instructions. So just make sure you read through this information thoroughly. So now we are on standard 3. We're going to fill this out. More questions or required details, goals, resources. So we just want to see exactly what you're doing for recruitment and new member education. So I know that down below when we're focusing on new member education, it does require some upload. So it requires your new member program. So for us to move forward, I will just attach this program. Formal pinning date lists both for fall and spring. So all new members were initiated within 12 weeks of the formal pinning date. We understand that a number of our chapters check on grades first, and you're not initiating your men until the following semester. We get that. If you do have a strong process in place and you initiate them within 12 weeks, then you would get a point for it. If you don't, then you don't get 1 point. 1 point in the grand scheme of 90 is not going to affect you that much. But again, this is something that we view as a standard of excellent. And so if you can reach that's awesome. And so that's something that maybe you want to put as a goal for you next year. So formal pinning date. And if you are on a quarterly term, then just list any date that you pin somebody and that you initiated. So 12/14, we'll say 3/14, Initiation. Well, those dates don't make sense, but it doesn't matter. Make sure you put the year too. The chapter has no violations throughout the new member education process. Did the chapter have any violations? We're going to say no. If you did, then just list what those violations were. And this can be through us or through your university or IFC. Make sure that there's no other requirements. Save and next. We should be on to standard 4, and this is going to be focusing on philanthropy and service. If I could type. Okay, so this is a requirement that each member has at least 10 hours of community service for the academic year, and there were italics there, so it's probably going to tell you exactly how you should be creating and uploading the document. And then philanthropic donations, and again italics, so it'll give you the instructions of what we're looking for. So I uploaded my documents, save and next. And then it brings me to standard 5, which is character. And this is going to be really focusing on the programming that you're doing to create better men. Has the active organization been disciplined within the last 3 years? So if yes, then you want to submit any documentation. So say you were held accountable by your IFC for hosting an unregistered event. They will typically have forms that they submit or minutes, or maybe you have a letter on university letterhead from your Greek advisor. Those are things we're looking for to be uploaded and submitted. Alcohol policy. And again, you have to upload something. So say if you don't have an alcohol policy, you do still have time that you can work with us to help you create one, or you can work with your Greek advisor. But if you get to this point and you don't have this information, then what I would recommend is just creating a Word document that says not applicable and saving that so that that can be used to upload in place of these items in which you don't have anything for. Okay, so number 6, active organizations will attend or host at least 4 dry personal development programs or workshops a semester that focus on topics that develop the better man. And then it goes into different ideas of programs that you can host. So this is the place where I want you to make sure that you are not working harder, but you're working smarter. And so what I mean by that is I've seen chapters and colonies see, wow, 4 personal development programs in a semester. We're not doing that. So let's hurry up and cram 4 programs into our already busy calendar. That's not our intention here. Chances are you are either already holding these programs, you're attending these programs because they're required by your Greek office or by IFC, or there's other fraternities and sororities or student organizations on your campus that are holding these programs. So that's where you need to be intentional. At the beginning of the year, look and see what programs are being held and if you can go to them, and then put them on your calendar and market it to your members. So if your IFC is bringing in a speaker on hazing prevention, make sure 85% of your men are there, and then you just completed program event number 1. Say you really need to work on values congruence and what the ritual means. So hold a program on the ritual. Your ritual chair can be the person that facilitates it. Make sure 85% of your men are there, and then you just completed program 2. So these are going to ask for the title of the program, what is the type of program here, and then a description of the program. Again, it's going to ask you percentage of members in attendance, your satisfaction, and then any documents. So again, if you have a PowerPoint, if you have flyers, if you have minutes or notes, whatever you have to paint a picture for the judges. So that should be all of our requirements. So now down here, you're going to have a couple of different options than you've seen on the previous standards. You're going to have previous, to where you can go to standard 4. You're going to have save, and you're going to have save and finalize. Hitting save is going to allow you to just save what you just submitted or what you just completed, and then go back and review everything thus far, make any changes that you have, or to make sure you didn't miss anything. Save and finalize means that you feel good with everything that you've submitted and you are ready to submit your application. You will see that a little note pops up and it says, press OK to submit your application. You will not be allowed to make changes after submitting. Press cancel to return to the application. You may also press save instead of save and finalize to save and return later. So if you feel good and you know that you will not need to make any more changes, then hit OK. Because again, we will not be able to go in and alter any of your responses after this point. So if you didn't miss anything, you filled out everything properly, you got all the required pieces, then it'll say success, and it'll bring you to this page, which is your confirmation page. And it just says, thank you for applying. Submissions will close on June 1st. Chapters will be informed of the first and second place winners at the 2016 SCOBY Leadership School. And then you should get an email also confirming this as well. So again, submissions close on June 1st. We will not be taking any late submissions. You still have a couple of months, so start working on this now. If I didn't answer any of your questions or if you're confused, please email me at Ariel, which is ARIEL, at triangle.org, and that's right here. Or you can call the headquarters, and I'd be happy to assist you as you go throughout this program. I'm really excited that you attended this training and that you're thinking about applying for the Judy and Larry Garatoni Building Better Men Endowment Fund program, because I promise that this will assist you in your chapter operations, your risk management, your recruitment, your new member education, just everything. I promise you will see success as a chapter, and you could potentially win $100,000, which is pretty great. So thanks again, and have a great rest of your day.